Hi movers, it's Jamila, the Moving Soul, and welcome to my channel. This week's practice is welcoming the heat of summer by exploring a movement practice for the heart meridian. So we'll be working elementally, and that heart meridian is coming through the armpit to the inside of the arm, tracing through here, coming out on that pinky edge side. That's our heart meridian, and we're going to be doing some practices to support our heart meridian and the theme of summer. So let's get started. All right, so let's begin on our backs. And take your time getting down to the floor here and just setting your blocks off to the side. Bring your heels a little closer towards the hips and float the arms up towards the ceiling, and then let them move back, opening up the armpits, palms reaching to the sky here, already allowing that first heart point of the heart meridian in the armpits to open, reaching up through the yin side of the arm. That's the inside of the arms here. And then brush the arms, fingertips to the sky. Inner arms still facing away from you. Elbows go out to the side. Broaden the collarbones while you're here. Extend the arms, reach up. Palms will face the sky as you move your biceps towards the ears. Armpits again spiraling towards the ceiling here, and pressing them back, fingertips towards the ceiling, bending the elbows and bringing it down. We're going to do this 2 more times. Reach up, exhale, reach back. Keep the spaciousness of the back of the heart here, so intentionally not trying to squeeze the shoulder blades together, but maintaining a sense of width and spaciousness. Arms reach back, last one here. And bring it forward. Elbows out to the side, broaden the armpits. And now we're gonna go up. We're gonna add some more movement. Heels may come just a little closer towards your seat here. As you roll your hips up, start to send your hips over, lift your hips up and set your arms over your head. Breathe in, leave space for the throat and the chin. We're going to roll the spine down, bring the arms back, and as the pelvis touches, we're going to bend the elbows and start this process again. In breath, arms go up. Out breath, roll the hips, reach the arms behind you or over your head. And then bring the hips back down, arms come back to the ceiling, bend the elbows in breath. Extending up. Out breath, roll through, root down through the soles of the feet. And arms back as you roll back down. Bend the elbows, arms reach up, roll through the pelvis. Arms reach over the head. We're going to pause here. Maintain that the arms are floating so you don't close the back space of the heart. Feel a little more pressure into the base of the skull. My apologies, I mean the center of the skull at the occiput here. So the chin stays open. A little bit more warmth building in the body. I'm going to send those elbows into that goalpost position. Squeeze into the hips a little bit more. Use those glutes and extend the arms. Slide the fingertips up. In breath, bend here. Out breath, extend. We're gonna go 2 more times. You're welcome to lower back down if you need to. Staying here for a little bit more engagement of that back line. Extend the arms over the head. Roll the spine down. Good. We're gonna bring the knees into the chest. Give a gentle tug so that the lower back stretches here. Nice job in our warming up. So again, starting to build quiet sizzle, a little warmth, a little heat, transforming our tissues in the theme of our summer. And we're going to take a little roll to the right and come on to your right side. Reposition yourself back onto your mat here if you've gone off. And we're going to extend your top leg, which should probably be your left, but reach your top leg out, whichever one that is. Reach that top leg out, and you're going to flex that ankle, and we're going to keep the leg a little lower than your hip joint. Reach the same arm as leg, reach it out as though you're trying to reach to the toes. I'm totally lined up on my side, and then I'm going to sweep my right arm up, and then I'm going to open it out, roll, and I'm going to drop it down, allow my chest to come forward again, reach towards my toes, and open it up, armpit, inner arm line again. 2 more times. I keep that reach of my leg open, bend into that half goalpost, looking towards the ceiling, that 4th one. We're going to stay in our twist and exhale. In, breath wide. Imagine the elbow getting longer, spreading the collarbone wider on that rotated side here. Another breath. And then let's go ahead. Close, bend that knee, and you're back into your side here. Transition onto your back. Let's place the soles of the feet on the ground. Roll onto your back again. And then from here, hug the knees into your chest. Give an in breath here and an out breath. And then exhale, catch yourself. Make a pillow with your bottom arm. And on your side, you're looking at my back side, and you're going to extend the leg, reach the foot out. I take my top arm and I reach towards my foot. I keep my leg a little bit lower, but not dropping it down because it feels really kind of icky for the inner groin here. So activate through the side of the hip. In breath, we're going to sweep the arm up, roll the spine. That moves into our half of our goalpost position. Sweep that arm down, roll the body back onto the side here. Lift it up over the head. Exhale, open and stretch. And we take it 2 more. Exhale, reach the elbow wide from the collarbone. 1 more time. Reaching it out. And this is the 4th one. Exhale. Stay right here, eyes looking up towards the ceiling here. Move your breath from the intention of your sternum. Spread it wide across the pec tissue, curving into the armpit and weaving out through the elbow. And last time here, let's close that, circle that arm down, bend the knee, lay on that side. And let's move ourselves back onto our back again. And now from here, we're going to take our hips over to your left. I'm going to move closer to my bookshelf. So I'm moving my hips closer to the bookshelf, and I'm going to extend my legs so that they start to curve away from the bookshelf. And then I reach my arms over the head. I'm going to use the hand furthest away from the bookshelf to clasp the wrist. And then I move my upper torso, my rib cage, away from the bookshelf. And I'm in this like banana shape here, flexing the ankles, reaching out through the palm, again, tracing the inner arm line, heart line, moving out through that pinky edge, the meridian of the heart. Pericardium is in the center, and moving through that fourth finger here. This is also great for just the expansion into the intercostal muscles and our rib cage. You're welcome to also cross the ankle, which intensifies it a little bit more. If that's something that you're into, you can do that. And one more breath for 6. And then I'm going to go ahead and backtrack, bring my body, my torso back to the center, uncross my ankle, bring my legs back underneath me. Take a moment here. Walk my heels closer towards my seat. And then I'm going to shift away from my bookcase. So I take my hips away from the bookcase. I'm going to reach my legs down long, reach my arms over the head, and I'm going to grab the arm furthest away, which happens to be my right arm. I'm going to take my legs towards the bookcase, and I'm going to take my upper body towards the bookcase as well, finding that curve, opening up through the armpits. My eyes are open and looking towards not the ceiling, but slightly down and above my horizon. Let's breathe in. Keep expanding the shoulders away from the neck. You're welcome to intensify the stretch by crossing the ankle. And we have one more here. And we're going to go ahead and backtrack this. So I'm going to come out through my upper body first, lower my arms down, uncross my legs, lay flat on my back as I walk my heels. I come back on to my mat. I went off just a little bit here. And then I'm going to hug my knees into my chest. And I want to just rock a little bit from side to side. And as I do this, I know that I'm also just allowing some of the stretch of the water meridian, my bladder meridian, which runs from around the level of the eyebrow, through the skull, down the neck, right down the center, along the spine, down into the sacrum here. And then I'm just gonna take a little rock and roll along that bladder line. Let's encourage a little bit more tone of the belly. So I'm gonna hold onto my shins. I'm gonna push my shins into my hands. My arms get longer. And that's going to lift me up a little bit. I have to draw my center back, my belly back. And then I'm going to hug those knees and I'm going to let my spine come right back down. We're going to do that 3 more times. Press into the shins. Arms extend. It calls our upper body forward. Abs pull back. Bring it right back down. Here we go again. Last 2. Push. Stretching that back line. One more time. Exhale. Good, I'm going to stay here. Send my toes a little bit more down. And then I start to just rock myself so that I can come up to a seated position. If that is not in your wheelhouse, you're welcome to just roll off to one side. Safety first, of course. Use your arms and come up to a seated position. So I'm going to sit cross-legged and facing you. We're going to use our yoga blocks at this time. So if you need to sit up on some height, grab one of your yoga blocks and sit on the height if you need that. I'm only going to be using one yoga block for right now for the next series that we're going to get into. And we're going to send those arms up and over the head here. We're going to press the palms into the block, elbows out, and we're going to find this widening. And what I want you to check in is that you're not closing the door to the back of your heart. As wide as you are in the front, try to kick the elbows out a little bit more forward. See if you can make that change. And then press the palms straight in the arms. We're going to bring it down, chest level, widen here. Here's the check-in. Are you squeezing your shoulder blades together? Don't close the door to the back of the heart. Widen that. Right? So again, the armpits, they kind of move out to the sides a little bit more. Draw your navel center. Exhale. Reach the arms. Arms float up. Elbows out. I draw my abs back a little bit more. Reach up. Arms come down. I keep pressing into the palms. So I'm working with some strength here. Arms up and wide. Reach the head up into the block. Elbows out. Extend. Arms up. Elbows out. Shoulders low. Here we go. 2. And again, reach up. And I feel that subtle warmth already beginning in my arms a little bit more now that I'm really focusing on the connection of my arms to my back. And that's going to be the last one. We need that because now we're going to take both of the blocks and set them along the sides of the hips. I'm going to shift back just a little bit more here. And I want to extend my legs and my feet out in front. So I'm just testing. My fingertips are facing forward on the block. So if there's some wrist issues or wrist compression, let your fingers actually curl around the front of the block instead of being at the same level on the block here. We're going to check in with the shoulders. Blocks are by the hip bones and the arms and the hands are slightly behind. Check in that your shoulders are not rounding forward. So already here, open up through the back of the heart. You'll feel a little sense of scoop of your sacrum. Expose your sitting bones. You can move the tissue away. And then from here, we're going to exhale, open up the back of the heart, open the front of the heart. Exhale, we push ourselves up. And then coming right back down, the elbows will bend. Exhale, heels are still on the ground. I float myself up and then I'm going to lower back down. We're going to do this 2 more times. I exhale, press. I keep the shoulders from rounding forward and then I'm going to come right back down. Let's take this 1 more time here. Press down, exhale, lengthen, reach up through the top of the head here. And then we're going to just wiggle the pelvis. You've cleared the room. You've cleared the space underneath you. And we're going to come down. We take a moment here. So this time, we're going to keep the feet extended, heels grounded, and return the hands back onto the blocks here. Roll the shoulders, lift them up, spread the collarbones wide, lift your heart up, push down into the blocks, extend the elbows again. Roll the pelvis this time into our reverse bridge, lift the hips up, take a breath in, and then we're gonna exhale, bring the hips back down, shoot the legs to straight, lower down, elbows bend. Stretch, reach down, check that the shoulders aren't rolling forward. I want to set this up again. Lengthen, elbows reach back, collarbones wide. I push, right? So I want to support myself. So I'm not going to put my shoulder blades in a compromising position here. And I roll my hips up. Here's our reverse bridge, stretching more to that inner line of our bicep and back down. We've got 2 more here. Take another breath in. Right, option to just do our lifting up with the legs staying straight. Hips come right back down here. Maintaining that sense of warmth, that heat press. We lift, we bring the pelvis through, moving into this reverse bridge, reverse table, and then come down for that final one. Good. We're going to take the blocks and just move them further away. I want to move my legs into that staggered seated position. Reach my arms out to the side. I drop what is my right hand on the block and I swing my arm up and over to this third one. Follow that momentum and I lift my pelvis up. And then I'm going to send it right back down here. And 1. Drop, swing 2 in the arm. And swing the pelvis, open the inner groin. Side body long. And right back down. 1, 2, drop, swing. Third one, follow the momentum. And up. Last time, drop, swing. 1, 2 of that arm, open it up. 3, reach it up. Fingertips pointing away on the arm that's on that block. I come back down and we change to the second side. Hug those knees in. Give yourself enough room by shifting yourself on to the opposite sitting bone, which is now my left sitting bone. Reach my arms out to the side. Make sure that there's room for my knee. Drop the arm down. And then I'm going to start with my right arm. Drop, swing 1, 2, I'm getting ready and follow that lift. Press down into the block, opening, yawn that stretch. We bring the hips back down. Here we go. 1, drop, swing 2, and the shoulder right up. 3 with the pelvis and the hips come forward. And drop the hips down, arm swing 1, 2. Hips come up. 3, lift, open that stretch. Final time. Drop, swing 1, 2, and third one, press down, lift up. Deep breath in. And if you want to stay a little bit longer, reach. Bring it down. And great, we're going to hug the knees. And I'm going to just have my blocks on the side of my mat here again. I'm going to turn so that I am profile to the camera. Place my hands either on my shins or underneath the backs of my legs. Elbows out to the side here. Heels stay down. I roll halfway back. Again, I'm keeping this spaciousness, not only through my armpits, but again at the back of my heart. I'm going to bring my pelvis, scoop it back. I'm going to go as far back as I can, keep my heels down. Take a breath in. And then I'm going to drop my head, let my belly ride along the front of my thighs, scoop my heart up. I'm going to lean back, reach back, and then move my pelvis to find my rib cage. Deepen the belly, heels stay down. Belly moves back. Scoop the front of the heart up, reach back. This time we go down, walking it down onto your back. Great. and we take a pause here. So I'm going to reposition myself because I'm also going to grab my block, and we're on our backs again. We're going to take the block and at least have it somewhere at a medium height or whatever you can tolerate for our restorative posture of our bridge pose. So here we are. I'm going to take that block and place it at the back of my sacrum here. And my chin is open and away from my throat. Arms can be down by the side. You're also welcome to bring them into that goalpost position, your choice here. We're going to be here and just allowing your practice to come back in, softening into yourself. Perhaps noticing that quiet strength that you have built during the practice. And receive that support from that yoga block. Engage the soles of the feet to connect into the ground just a little bit more. Feel your glutes also get a little more taut as we reach for the block. And whatever level you are at, bring the block away from your hips. Roll your spine down and bring your arms down. Take a breath in. So we're going to end with one more restorative posture, rolling off to the side here. I find that my yoga mat is a really great height for myself. So I'm going to encourage you to do the same. I'm going to roll up the mat. Into this tubular shape here. And you can have less of a roll or more of a roll here. I'm going to give myself a little bit. And then I come back. And I'm aiming for this to hit right at the level of my armpits. Okay? And I'm going to bring the tips of my shoulder blades on to the roll of my yoga mat, and I'm moving into a heart opener. So I take my head down and I allow for the nipple line to arc back. My head is on the ground here, and I am opening my arms into this overhead shape here. So options for legs in this heart opener. You can do this, keeping the soles of the feet on the ground with the knees up. You can also straighten your legs. And the last variation is bringing the soles of the feet together, legs into a diamond shape. And breathing into the back space of the heart, the sides of the ribs and the lungs. and just following the breath. Begin to prepare your body to transition out of this heart opener pose. If your legs are straight, bend the knees and walk your feet closer to your hips. If you are in this diamond-shaped prayer position, bring the knees up to the sky, feet flat. Roll onto one side, letting your knees fall. Take a pause here. Then press into that top arm. Bring yourself up to a seated position. And just notice and feel the effects of this heart meridian summer focus. So welcome to Cancer season, welcome summer, and we're gonna stay with this theme for another week. Next week's practice will have a little bit more of heat-inducing sequencing, so I look forward to practicing with you then.